Welcome ji. Let's start our Java tutorial part. So today I am going to talk on the operators. Okay. So here we have already learned till now how to declare and initialize the variables. Okay. So now you have a variables. Okay, so the next question come, how to do something with them, what are the use cases, okay, where these variables are used. So for that, how to do something with them, how to do something with them means that means the variable. So the operator of a Java programming language is a kind of a, let's see, plus sign, minus sign in the maths, this a plus sign, and you have a, let's see, 2 and plus 5. Okay, so Java say this plus signs is a operator. Okay, this is the operator. Okay, so generally this is the your integer literal, this is your integer literals you have learned. So this 2 and 3 value, uh, we generally represent in a variable like, okay, integer x equal to 2 and integer y equal to 5. Okay, so you can say ki x plus y. Okay, so this way, so here say operators are special symbol that perform a specific operation. Okay, this operator is a special symbol in a Java, and they perform the specific meaning, and they have a one or two or three operand and the result. Okay, here this is the your operand, this is your operator, and both you are doing calculations, you are getting a 7 as a results. Okay, so this is the result. Okay, this is your operator, these two are operand 1 and operand 2. So it's clear, operator, what are the operators? And operators are a special symbol that perform a specific operations on one, two, or three operands. Okay, so generally this is your operator, this is operator, and operators need maybe here some operand 1, operand 2. Okay, this is the operand 1 and operand 2. This operator can be your plus, minus, division, and can be subtraction, can be lots of operators. We will discuss detail ki what kind of operators Java as a programming language provide to us. So be clear, this is the two terminology. Operators is the operation, a symbol, a special symbol that's have a special meaning, and those operators are working on operanding on the some variables or value, those variables known as operand. So all the variable you can say which we have learned till now, this is the operand, and operators and operand make together and do some specific operation. So it's clear, operators and operand. So let's discuss what kind of operators Java as a programming language support, so that as a developer we can use. So let's talk about the operator. So be clear ki these are the operators. Your postfix operator, unary operator, multiplication operator, addition, shift operation, relational operator, equality operator, bitwise and, or exclusive bitwise or and similarly logical and logical or, and ternary operator, as well as the assignment operator. So these operators are generally you have almost lots of you already know about the basic mathematics about plus minus division equal to not equal to, and some are the computer science specific like bitwise and logical or ternary operators. You already know less than, greater than. So these are the operators support. So we'll discuss in details all the operators, give what the meaning, where we can use this postfix, yeah, with example as well as. And there is one terminology known as a precedence. Precedence is means that this is the order of evaluations. Okay, give let's give we have a 2 plus 5 multiply by 3. If this is the case, so as a you are evaluating first plus operator or as a multiplication operator. Okay, so this precedence informed to the compiler which is the first evaluator, that this is our highest order and this is our lower, this is the lowest from highest to lowest. The first, if any, this is known as a your one statement, and this statement have a multiple operator, one operator two. So compiler what did, compiler they first identify the precedence order, they have a two operator plus and multiplication. So if you look here the precedence is first come your first come your multiplication, the first they are going to perform your multiplication operator. 5 multiply by 3, 15, and after that your next have a plus operator, then they are going to apply the 2 as a plus operator, this is your 70. So this is the meaning of the precedence order. Precedence orders inform to the compiler if your statement have a multiple operator, so which operators evaluate first. The higher precedence order evaluated first, evaluated this, then this, then this, then this, then. So this is the last your assignment operator. So you also noted that if one statement have a multiple operator, then operator evaluations, which is the first, which is the last, depend upon the operator precedence. So these tables with the help of order of the precedence table. This is the higher order first evaluate, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this is, and all the operators which are listed here are which order and from left to evaluation or right to evaluation. So only all the operators are evaluated left to right except this assignment operator. Assignment operator always evaluate from right to left. Right. The B, these are the some basic rules you should know. What are the precedence order? Precedence order is the information to the compiler if you have one statement that contain the multiple operator, then which operator evaluate first. Okay, the higher precedence are evaluated first, then lower, then next. So these are the means set of operators Java as a programming language support you should know, and you also know about the precedence order, which operator evaluates first in case of your statement have a multiple operator. So here the same things I have explained as a operators. Okay, so operators are the which I have discussed operators in the following tables which are listed to the in the precedence order. Okay, so the top of the highest to order I am given. So similarly, if you're talking about the evaluation part, if your operators with a higher order precedence are evaluated first, and after that your lower order, so please be noted. And similarly, operators, if uh, on the same lines like precedence, then the which their order returns accordingly they are evaluated. Operators of equal precedence appear in the same expression. The rule must be governed as evaluated first. So in the case of your binary operator, except assignment operators are evaluated from left to right, and assignment operators are evaluated from right to left. Okay, so be clear, left to rights, all the statements are created from left to right, and your assignment from right to left. This is the left to right. So these are the theory, but you know how it's work. So let's discuss one by one in the detail how first all the operators are logically grouped into the some category like arithmetic operation, logical operator, assignment operator. So similarly, first grouped about the arithmetic operation. Generally, these operators all we have know from our mathematics. Okay, we know this is the kind of your plus operator is for addition two number, and your minus operator, subtraction operator, multiplications operator. In a math we have learned like this way, but this is not used in the computer science because this is the x, so this is the special symbol like a star. So we are using the star as a multiplication operator. This is the division operator generally, and generally in division operator in computers, in the mathematics you learn like this way, but here the division operators use the decimal operator. And this is the one new things you know about. This is the modulo operator. Modulo operator is the remainder. Let's give we have a 5. If you divide with a 2, okay, so 2 to the 4 and remainder 1. So this is 1 is your modulo. If you say this is the remainder part your here, this is the calculator from your modulo operator. Okay, so this is the only one symbol that you might need to know. This is the modulo operator, and which divides one operand by another, and the result the remainder. Remainder is the result of a modulo. Rest you know plus minus symbol. Okay, so as per the precedence order, these are well, if these operators come in a particular order in one statement, according to the precedence order tables they are evaluated first. Let's look like example. Let's we have a let's integer a equal to 5, integer b equal to 2. Okay, so if you want to uh, operate plus a plus as a, here you can say some result variable, what int result equal to a plus b, and s is print your result. So this way you can use the any operator here. So it's work. So if you want to like your similarly you can want to directly here you can apply a minus b. Okay, uh, or you can say a divide by b, or you can say a modulo b. So this way you can use any operator, maybe first evaluate and assign in a particular variable and then use the result. So you can do this way. So here this is the your a plus b is equal to 7, this is your a minus b, this is a 3, a divided by to your modulo. ऐसे ना कि 5 if you divide with a 2, 2 to the 4, this is the 4, this is the 1. So this is your modulo. Okay, and this division, this is your, this answer your division. So if you want to take this output, you have to either divide, and if you want to get this modulo operator result, the remainder, then you can use the modulo operator. So in this way, Java support this operator, and you will know it. But only you have to know the precedence order in which the order they are evaluated. As I say, we have a calculation. We have written here uh, A plus B star C, like so. Let's say one another operator, like your result R. Okay, and then S out your C. Okay, if you run this, they have multiple operators. So in this way, getting a 19. How 19 will get? Let's evaluate. This is the A. A is a 5 plus you have a B. B is a 2, 2, and then multiplication R. Result was your R was your result 7, 7. Okay. So first evaluated the as per precedence order. This, so this is your 14, and after that this is the 5. Then evaluated this, your 19. So this way you are getting your output, the 19. So this is the way you always remember the precedence order if you are doing some statement that have multiple operator. So these are the arithmetic operators, and one things if you noted here, written about the plus symbol have a special meaning in the case of your data types, you using strings. Okay, if you have two strings, and that's the meaning of plus is concatenating, appending the both. Let's give we have a high, hey, one object hey, a second is that low. So if you are doing a plus, that means ke hey low, this is the new string. So this the same thing explaining here. Okay, this plus operator can also use to concate, yeah, joining, simply joining the two strings. Okay, so let's look if you have a one string h hello, a second your string word, and if you are uh, join and h plus your w. If you're writing this way, and if you check the output to join, and this will be just joining the two string. Sometimes join the terminology with the concate, yeah, append both are the appended. And the one things if you also notice the, also you can the arithmetic operators. Okay, with a simple assignment. Sorry. All the arithmetic operator you can combine with a assignment. Generally what we are doing, we are writing a equal to b plus c. Okay, so sometime if you can write a compound statement, you can create the compound statement, means combining your arithmetic operator with the assignment operator. So like if you are written x equal to x plus 1 x, you can also write like this way. You can also write x, sorry, x, this is not x, plus equal to 1. So this is the same meaning like this. Okay, so if you want to a equal to a plus 1, the here you can say a plus equal to 1. Both are the same. Okay, so this is known as a compound operator with the combinations of this assignment and this here plus. So in this way you can also sometime writing a shorthand value increment by 1. So this is the compound statement. If you look, let's say I have a integer variable your p and equal to here a 10. Okay, and here you can say simply p p sorry p plus equal to 1. Okay, here, and if you s out p, it will be display. So this is the your 11. So this is the your like a p equal to p plus 1. This is known as a compound. Okay, this is the uh, com compound operator. Compound operator. Okay, so sometime you can also you can took here any, let's 5, you want to increment the 5, this also work anything. So if you look here p is equal to p plus 5, not only one, you can say any just the simple, okay, p equal to p and plus something you want to do, so here you can do. So these are the about the your compound operator, your compound assignment you can say, and sometime you can just combination of your plus or minus your multiplication with the assignment operator. So let's discuss about the next about the unary operator. So previously say sometime binary means if your operator take a two operand, okay, operand 1 and operand 2. Okay, so this is known as your binary operator. Binary operator like a plus b. The b is your binary operator. To evaluating a plus operator, you need a two operand, operand 1, operand 2. This is the binary operator. This is your multiplication binary operator, division binary operator. There are some operator known as unary operator. Okay, so unary operator take only one operand. Okay, this is the a, and you want to apply some performance. So here you can apply plus, this is the positive number. If you have a applies minus, this is the negative number. Okay, if you have a and you apply is like a plus plus increment, so the value of a is incremented by 1. So here you have used some operator and only one operand. So say, so due to say this is the unary operator. Unary operator have only one operand on which you apply these operators. So these are the unary operator like a plus, positive number, negative number, your increment, your decrement, your logical R, negate the value, invert the Boolean value. If you have a true, then it's a false. False or true. This is the just decrementing one value. If you say ki a minus minus, that is your symbol decrement by 1. This is the plus plus increment by 1. This is the symbol minus operator, your plus operator, indicate a positive number, and this is their negative number. So these sometimes we are associating our only one operand with this operator known as unary operator. Let's look. If I am talking about, let's give, we have a variable uh, s and equal to 10, equal to let's 15. Okay, and if you say s out simply plus plus s, means you are incrementing one value. Okay, so this is the only one operator you have used, and this is the operator, this is the unary operator. Okay, s is the only one operand, and this is the one operator, so this is known as your unary operator. Similarly, you can do your again like minus minus. So they again convert to the 16. So sometime this also help you are to just want to increment one number, decrement number. Then instead of writing p equal to p plus 1, you can just increment 1 or 2. But sometime want to increment 2 or 3 or 4, then this is the prefix. They have increment only by one number, not increment 2. But you can write a p plus equal to 5. That means keep the p value increment the 5 by 5. But this is the your compound assignment. But here in the plus plus, you can only one operator and one operand, and they have fixed increment only one by this. This is the decrement by minus one only. And next we talk about your uh, some condition check operator like equality and relations operator. Determine if one operand is greater than or less than or equal to or not equal to other operands. So these are the operators we generally use, and sometime use this double equal to. This is the your assignment. The be care, these are the equality operator. You can check two operators operands are same or not. This is the assignment operator. Sometime we confuse ki this is the your like comparing a two object. No. So and if when we are testing it primitives, so these are the your equal operator check to value equals, this is the not equal to operator, and this is the greater than, this is the greater than or equal to, this is the less than or equal to. In this way you can, let's see, we have a number a1 equal to 5, and we have a integer b2, we have a let's 7. Okay, so here we can check if uh, a1 a1 greater than b2, here greater than b2. uh, okay, so we ensure that if you are applying a1 greater than b2, so what is the result of this? Result would be the condition true or false. Okay, the condition like a boolean boolean result. So here you have to check both are, so this you can apply the conditions and the result would be true or false. Okay, so might be this is the greater than, this is the false. If you say this is the less than, this is the less than. maybe return true. The result of less than, greater than, equal to, equality may be true or false. Both value are equal to or not. Okay, the output is the boolean. Maybe you can write in the same way. This is the way you can check equality operator. So all the, if you say the apply an operator 1 and operator 2, the result would be your boolean, maybe true or false. Similarly, equal or not equal, greater than or equal to, less than or less than equal to. So sometime you directly use in the if block, or you can just get a result in a boolean variable. And next operator, you were talking about the conditional operator. Conditional operator. This is known as a AND operator. This is your OR operator, and perform the conditional AND or conditional OR. Okay, and between the two, on the two Boolean expressions. Okay, so here noted that these operators apply this and apply on the two operand, but these two operands should be Boolean. Should be Boolean. Maybe Boolean have a two value, true or false. The here might be true or a true or a false kind of things happen. So these be noted, these operators is working on only the boolean data types. Left hand side also boolean, right hand side also boolean. Sometime these operator known as a short circuit operator as well as. So someone say what are the short circuit operator in the Java? These are the operator, logic, conditional and conditional R. So the possible value for AND R would be, let's we have create one table. So you clear, if we have a left operand side and your operand, and this is your right side. If might be left side your true and true or true or false or false or true or true sorry or false or false. Five possible. If you apply operator in between the and logical end, the result would be true, both true, then it will return true. If any false, then return false. And operator say any false, return false. Okay, and our R operator say, what R operator say, in both any true, if this is true, any true, this return true. Here one true, return true, one true, return true, both false, then return false. So here we condition ki these operators are evaluated from left to right. If we are evaluating first this operator left to right, if first is true, then left is not evaluated. If first for the first is true, then your list evaluate it's a false or not. In the case here, if first operator is the false, and this is the true, then next evaluated. So you have to similar in the shortcut in the case AND operator. AND case, if any true, our first true, if this is the first true, then next expression is not evaluated, because you know if any false, it's written false. And in the case of R no any true, result true. In the case of this, if this is the true, then they are not going to evaluate this. So why this is the short circuit? Because depend upon the first depend upon the first operand. First operand result what? If first operand result is the true, then next in the case of R operator, they are not going to evaluate the false. Any true is the true. But in the case of AND operator, if they first evaluated as a false, then they are not skip the next evaluation. So due to that, skipping the next evaluation known as a short circuit. Okay, so please be notes why the short circuit. Reason is that sometimes in the boolean operators, in the case of your AND operator, and so if both true, then all true. Okay, so let's see here they are evaluated false. Okay, so they are not going to evaluate the your right side. Whole condition will be, and R say if both are any are true, then I return true. If they evaluated first true, evaluate true, then the skip is the second one, because they know that this is the true or false doesn't matter. I always return true. Similarly, is end operator say कि the first you evaluated false doesn't matter. The second will be true or false. I always return a false. So due to the skipping the second expressions, this is known as your short circuit operator. Okay, and you can apply short circuit. Let's example as well as, and here let you can say like if a let's key a e, be noted that this short circuit operator you cannot apply a one and and a p2. You cannot apply boolean here. Reason, this is your short circuit operator. Short circuit operator on the left side you need the boolean expression, right side also need a boolean expression. So here you have to write like boolean operator like a greater than uh, a1 greater than b2, like this way. This is the your boolean operator, they return boolean. And here you can apply also like b2 greater than the 5 or 4. Now it's work. Okay, so be ensure that this is the way this works. Okay, you are getting false. So b, if we are going to the this is the short circuit conditional operator, ensure that ki left top expression also return as a boolean, and the right operand expression or statement expression return as a boolean. This circuit operator only need apply on the boolean left side and right side operand. The both should be boolean. If any non-boolean, you cannot apply this short circuit operator. And same for your R condition as well as. And this is the one operator known as a conditional operator or ternary operator. Okay, this is the look like in the case when we did if and else block, then it is some control flow. But this operator, so this operator known as a your ternary operator, and it use the three operand. Why say till now we have studied the binary operator. Okay, and the unary operator and binary operator. This is your ternary operator. Unary operator only one operand needed. Binary operator you need a two operand, and the ternary operator needs a three operand. So here in the example, in the case of let's key, this is the question mark, and this is the colon, and here say if here some condition, maybe boolean condition, true or false. If this expression is a true, then the value 1 assigned to the result 1. If this condition is a false, then value 2 is assigned to this. So due to that, these three you can conditions. Okay, so you know this is the your ternary operator. They have a three operand. This is the your condition. This is the value 1 and this is the value 2. The value 1 may be assigned to value result, and our value 2 assigned to the result. So this depend upon this condition. If condition true, then value 1. If condition false, then value 2 will assign to the result. Okay, so let's here example I am writing interval 1 equal to 12 and int right while 2 equal to 1 3 1 3. Okay, and let's key int rs result 1 equal to, let's key val 1 greater than val 2, then we returns, let's key 100. Okay, else we return like only uh, maybe 999. Okay, so this way, okay, this way 999. So why happen region we have given the here first operand is the condition. This is the complete your boolean result. Value 1 greater than value 2, value 1 12 greater than 2, true false. No, if false, then the result would be the 99. If this evaluation, if let's say this will be true, then they return this. So this is a very handy to writing a if else and a block like that. This is a very useful, generally used in our application. Lots of times you look in a code where you need to apply if this variable condition true, then assign to this object, else this object. So in that place we can use this ternary operator. This is the ternary operator. You know we have one binary operator, we have a unary operator, and a ternary operator. Unary operator only one operand, like a then plus plus. And in the case of binary operator, we have needed two operand. Let's key a and b, and then apply your plus operator. Okay, so this is the binary operator. This is the unary operator. This is the ternary operator. They need a three operand. Okay, like your condition question mark, and result 1 or result 2. Okay, so if condition true, then you are returning a result. If condition false, then you are returning a result 2. So these are what are the unary operator? They have only one operand. What is the binary operator? They have a two operand. What is the ternary operator? We have a three operand. Operand 1 2 3. So that's you know. Sometimes we also use about the type comparison. You know types, like we have, let's give, we have an object, one object, string class object, employee class object, any kind of object, and that two object want to comparison, types comparison operator. So this is known as instance of, this is the reserved keyword, and that keyword used to instance of operator compares an object to the specific types. Let's give we have a one object ob. I want to runtime, find out this is the object of employee class, this is the object of string class, this is the object of maybe string buffer class. So if sometime we need to test this case, so where we can in this situation we can use it to test if an object is an instance of a class, or yeah, the instance of a subclass, or an instance of a class that implement the particular interface. So one object can be instance of a particular class A, or maybe instance of a subclass of A, or maybe instance of your implementation class. So they check the class as well as and subclass as well as and the interface implementation as well as. Uh, so when using the instance of operator, okay, operator, keep in mind that a null is not an instance of anything. You cannot say null is the instance of string and null is instance of string buffer, null is instance of your employee class. No, this instance of only work on the actual object, which is the maybe subclass, or maybe subclass, or maybe implementation of interface. Let's talking about let's give, we have a two object, a string s1 equal to new string here, type hello. Okay, and we have a string buff builder sb1 equal to new string builder and the hello. Okay, you have written two objects, and now let's see want to check uh, s1 instance s1 instance of string class boolean b2 to already score 1 2. So here we can check key s1 is the instance of a string or not. They return true or false kind of things. Okay, this is the true. And if you say I want to uh, return s1 is the string, I want to check, or I don't, maybe I want to check sb1 is the instance of a string. Okay, so here also they inform that key incompatible types. Okay, you cannot say key this is the sb1 is an instance of a string. The compiler will identify as well as. Okay, the so in this is the where if you say this sb1 is instance of this, that time they so it's true. So sometime if you want to check which object. Okay, so this is the way. This help us to sometime to in the conditional base key the particular object we are receiving is the what kind of object. This is the object of employee class, yeah, string class, string buffer class. This help us to identify the types of an object. Okay, so this is your object. This is your object. I want to check this is the types of a class or not. If they return and the instance of return no boolean value. According to boolean, you can take decision. And one things more about operators, bitwise or bit shift operator. Okay, these are you can say your unary bitwise operator. Let's give you have a four in the binary we written like a 100. If you unary means the bitwise just complement of this, and similarly this is the your this symbol known as a signed left shift, shifting the number of bit. This is your right shift, and this is your unsigned your right shift. If you are using 3 greater than, that is the unswapped shift. If you are using 2, this is your signed. Maintain the sign if your number is plus or minus. And these are your, this is the bitwise, and this is your bitwise exclusive or this is the bitwise or. So be no, don't confuse. We have already discussed about the double and this is your conditional logic short circuit, and similarly we have also discussed about the uh, conditional short circuit R. So be ensure that this work on only the integral here you have to pass the integral data types, integer number, a float number, integral data type only. Okay, but here they work on your boolean part. Left and right side you have to pass a boolean. So be take in mind this single end operator is the bitwise. Its work on the integral data types. You in the left side and right side you have to pass the number integer numbers. But here in the case of logical, your short circuit end operator, you have to pass your boolean and boolean on the both boolean they works. The sometime so confused ki this is the single operator, this is the also AND, this is the also AND. This is the logical end, your short circuit. This is the bitwise end. They have a two number and bitwise bit they are comparing. Let's give we have a number 1014 number, and if I will let's key 2 no ki 0 1 2 is 2 row. So here they 1 2 0. So here if you want to let's key and say they return 1 0 and 0, this 0, you return 0. If y is the bitwise r, let's key we have a 4 and we have a 2, we have a 2, this is the 2, and then if you are r operator r say 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 1, anyone true at true they return. So they are working in a bitwise bit operations. Okay, let's rule example as well. As let's give we have a one bitwise a equal to let's give 4. Okay, and one have a int bitwise b, let's have a 2. Okay, and you know key this is the bitwise 4, you know this is the bitwise 2. If let's key s out, you want to say uh, here uh, int bitwise return a, return bitwise return 1, let's key b bitwise a, you want to and bitwise b. Okay, okay, so and the similarly let's give on the bitwise result 2, and here you want to bitwise r. So here you know let's print the number output. Here your bitwise result 1, bitwise result 2. If you run it, and here you notice two results. First is 0 and 4. Let's assume ki here what we are doing, here is the b1 1 is the 4, 4 means 1 0 0, and here a bb have a 2, 2 means 0 1 0, and let's key want to end bitwise, and bitwise end say if anyone false we return a false, both true then return the false false false, false and 0 1 0 0 1 0, so they return as a 0. Okay, let's key this is the r say 1 0 0, we have a 0 1 0, and if you say bitwise r you are applying 0 0 0, this r say ki any true I am true, this anyone true true, anyone true true. So this is your it's na 2 4. Okay, sorry, this is the 1 2 4. So na 1 to 4, see this is the one number, two number 4, so this is the 4 to 6, this is the your 6. Okay, so this way it's work. So be ensure that this is the your bitwise operator, left side need your integer, right side also need integer, a return also should be integer. Okay, but there is no any concept of a boolean here. They work on the bitwise bit on a number systems. And the case of your double end, they work on a boolean, left side boolean, right side boolean, and then the result should be boolean. So this is the major confusion between the single ampersand and the double ampersand. Double ampersand is the logical or a short circuit operator. Single ampersand is a bitwise operator. Bitwise operator work on your both integral parts and just converted and the bit and working on the one bit and one bit. Show some other also unary operator like we have it told about the, this is the symbol, this is invert the bit patterns. If you are a number have a 0 then convert to 1, if you have a 1 number convert to 0 all. Okay, similarly, let's give we have a one number. This, if you want to invert the, this will do 1 1 1 1 1. Similarly, we have a sign left shift and sign right shift. This is the just shifting your bits patterns. And similarly, these are the left hand operator. And this is the, if you go to the triple greater than sign, this is the shift zero with the leftmost position as well as. So let's up all the computer science bitwise operations, your bitwise end are exclusive are and bit left shift, right shift, and sand shift, they supports. So here I'm say ki please be work on these operators and try to explore and do your own hands on something, so you comfort ki how these operator help us to solve. And this is the kind of a short descriptions about these operators. Java have a lots more in deep detail about the bitwise operators, how left shift right shift work, about the conditional operator as well. So please, as when you are trying to use in your application, you don't need to remember. Whenever you are going to using, these are the huge number of operator, but this is the very, when you are in practice as per your requirement, you are using only, so don't worry. And so please ensure that we have these set of operators, and what are the precedence order, and in which order they are evaluated. They are also, in the from left to right they are evaluated, or right to left. So this is the complete from today's session. And here again, I'd like to thank you for watching this video.